Good morning. Today we will discuss about the general structure and organization of virus. So before that we will see how there is a science which is called as virology, and this virology was found by Martinus Bejernik, who is considered as the founder of virology. So he has found out about the virus that also in the early 20th century. So what is a virus? Virus is a Latin word which means it is venom or poison. So this can be defined as a submicroscopic entity consisting of a single nucleic acid which is surrounded by a protein coat and capable of replication only within the living cell of bacteria, animal or plants. I'll repeat. Virus is defined as a submicroscopic entity consisting of a single nucleic acid surrounded by a protein coat and capable of replication only within the living cell of bacteria, animals or plants. So it can otherwise be told as obligate, intracellular, and it can otherwise also be told as parasite. So we have to know before going in detail about virus the difference between bacteria and virus. So bacteria are living organism and they are unicellular, whereas viruses are not living, no cells are there. The next difference is they are larger, that is 1000 nanometer, whereas these are smaller, that is it ranges from 20 to 300 nanometer. Then bacteria in Latin means stick, little stick. That is what is it meant in Latin, whereas viruses are told as poison. These bacteria can be usually treated with antibiotics, and antibiotics will not affect the diseases caused by virus. So here bacterial diseases can be treated with antibiotics, whereas viral diseases cannot be treated with antibiotics. Then we have to also know what is the difference between DNA virus and RNA virus. So RNA virus looks like this, whereas DNA virus will start looking like this. So we need not go in detail about the structural component. If we see RNA virus will just look like this, whereas DNA virus will have two strands like this. If you take a RNA virus are single stranded as I have drawn, and these are double stranded. So if we take, these have location in nucleus, and these have location in nucleus as well as cytoplasm. They make use of nitrogenesis bases, that is adenine, cytosine, guanine and thymine. Whereas these also makes use of same nitrogenous bases like adenine, cytosine, guanine, and they don't make use of thymine. Instead of thymine, they make use of uracil. They make use of uracil nitrogenous bases. So this is the difference that we can see between a DNA and a RNA type of virus. So from the figure we can see the difference and how it is located, etc. Then we shall see what is the characteristics of a virus. The virus cannot be observed using a light microscope. They cannot be observed using a light microscope, and they don't have internal cellular structure, and they contain either DNA or RNA, but they don't have the both. Then they are incapable of metabolism. Viruses are generally smaller than bacteria. They replicate only inside living cell. Viruses actually lack cellular organelles such as mitochondria and ribosomes. So if we take a virus structure, they have nucleic acid, they have capsid, they have envelope protein, and they have membrane protein. I'll just show it here. They have nucleic acid like this, and outside that they have a capsid. This is a capsid. This is a nucleic acid, and outside this they have a coating like this, where they will be having this can be called as envelope protein, and this can be called as membrane protein. In general, these two can be called as viral envelope, and these two together can be called as nucleocapsid. So the nucleic acid along with the capsid together forms the shell of a virus particle, and it is called as nucleoplasmid. The complete virus particle, there is a nucleic acid along with this protein coats. It can also be covered by an envelope like this, what we have seen. So then they will be called as a virion. If they have this nucleoplasmid along with the envelopes and protein coat, they call it as virion. The structure of a virus will have a size that I have already told in the difference here, that viruses are generally 20 to 300 nanometer in diameter. Then the basic shape that a virus has is rod-like shape, or it can have spherical shape. And this already I have told you, it can, in the characteristics, that it can be either a DNA or a RNA, but it cannot be both. So it means that it can have either a single stranded or it can be a double stranded. So I have already told that we have just seen here how the structure of a virus looks like. The structure of a virus has a capsid. Capsids is a protective shell for the nucleic acid. This capsid is made up of many identical protein subunits. It will also be protecting the genetic material. It will be involved in cell entry, and it will be having either enveloped or non-enveloped virus particles or the protein particles. Enveloped means a lipid containing membrane that surrounds some virus particles, and this will be located in the outside of the capsid. So capsid we have seen, and this capsid mostly accounts for most of the viral mass. It can be made up of either a single protein or it can be made up of multiple proteins, and each subunit that will be there inside a capsid is called as capsomeres. And if we take virus classification, virus can be classified based upon the shape and based upon the envelope. Virus can be classified based upon shape and based upon envelope. Based upon shape, you can classify it as polyhedral virus, helical virus, and complex virus. Based upon envelope, you can classify it as naked viruses and enveloped viruses. So these are the classification of virus. If we take general morphology, the helical viruses will be having nucleic acid which is inside a hollow cylindrical capsid with a helical structure. Example for this helical viruses are rabies, Ebola virus, tobacco mosaic virus. These are some examples of helical virus. Helical virus has nucleic acid is inside a hollow cylindrical capsid with a helical structure. If we take a polyhedral virus, they may be many-sided and it will be having icosahedron is common with 20 equilateral triangles will be as a side and 12 vertices. So if we take polyhedral, example for polyhedral is herpes, adenovirus, and poliovirus. These are examples of polyhedral. If we take a complex structure example is pox virus and bacteriophage. These are the various classifications based upon the shapes of the viruses. So when we talk about complex structure is there will be additional structure that will be attached to the capsids, and it will be having combination of both a helical structure as well as a polyhedral structure, and it may have several codes around the nucleic acid. So then only they will be called as a complex virus. Complex virus can be combination of helical, polyhedral, and you can see several codes that will be there around the nucleic acid. So then they will be calling the virus as a complex virus. So if we take bacteriophage, okay, bacteriophage is a virus which will, that is I have told in complex there is one other type of virus which is called as bacteriophage. This bacteriophage, if you take this bacteriophage is a virus which will be infecting the bacteria. If they are infecting the bacteria, they are called as bacteriophage or phages for short, which means bacteria eaters. These viruses are bacteria eaters. They are generally large, complex virus with a characteristic head, and they will have a tail structure. They are generally double-stranded. Linear DNA genome contains they'll consist of 100 genes and contained within the isolateral head. So that is about this, how generally virus multiples. What happens is virus will generally attach itself to a surface of a bacterium. Once it attaches to the surface of the bacterium, the virus injects its genetic material into the bacterium. After that, the virus genetic material takes over